welcome to Autumn in Oakbend. It is our very first episode. I am so excited. Everyone say hi!
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, and Snowbright Studios here. Snowbright Studio is the company that put out Teatime Adventures, which is what Autumn in Oakbend will be based in, so everyone say hi to them!
Hey.
Hi, Snowbright
Hello.
Studios. Wonderful to have you.
Oh, this is so exciting. This has been in production for quite a while now, and we are now here. It is November. It is September 9th. I know dates.
You're doing
And-
so good. I'm so proud of you.
Great start! But we are going to go around, introduce our wonderful cast, and learn a little bit about their characters, and then jump right into the game. So, this way, it is Andrani. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your character.
My name is Indrani. My pronouns are she, they. You can find me on the internet as @Nonagon_Dice. I'm a handmade dice maker. Today I will be playing Titli, who is Oakbend's little cute butterfly park ranger. My job is to make sure that the parks and nature around us is taken care of, and the citizens of Oakbend all come together to protect that which we love most, which is the world that we live in. Oh, my pronouns is Titli or she, her. I am so bad at intros, but hi.
It's great. We're fine. Doing amazing. Below Andrani is Kay.
Hi, I am Kay, or @CriticalK with 2 Ks on the Twitter. I go by she, they pronouns, and I'm a queer Jewish TTRPG streamer. And today in Oakbend, I will be playing iRock, he, they pronouns, who owns a bit of a mysterious little B&B and just likes to have a good soiree of a time with his friends.
Right, and then moving counterclockwise, we have Trey.
Hey. I'm Trey. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Rusty, who's a little frogman farmer who grows heart-shaped tomatoes and ube. And he's excited to make his pie today.
And then right above Trey is That Gamer Share.
Hey, y'all, it's Cher, and my pronouns are she, her, and you can find me on the interwebs. I am a Black bisexual streamer here on Twitch, and I am known as that Gamer Share here on Twitch. On Twitters, I'm at Gamer Share. And tonight I am playing your resident puffwing, Sky, like the big blue. And she is a raven like puffwing. She is 6 foot tall. She is full of vigor and adventure. And at all times, she is the bestest friend that you could ever have.
I love it so much. They have done so much amazing interweaving of their backstories. I cannot wait for you all to see. But I think and
I forgot to say Sky. Sorry, I forgot to say
please.
Sky. She is a cartographer
Mhm.
and a tour guide. So this is why she loves exploring new places.
Love it so much. And I, of course, am your storyteller, Rosie. I need to do my own intro. I almost skipped over myself. This is my first produced actual play. I am so in love with the content. I got this book exactly 139 days ago, and when I got it, I'm like, I need to do something with this. So here we are with this amazing cast. And I think with all that said, I'm a little soft, so I'm going to turn up my mic. Actually, it's all the way up, so let me see if I can fix it over here. But all that said, we are going to jump into our very first episode of Autumn in Oakbend. Let's cue up the intro. And we are back. It is.
Oh, I have tears in my
I
eyes.
know, it's so good.
I love it
my
so
gosh,
much.
who
It's so good.
donated? Big Dad Industries, thank you so much for the $100 donation, starting us off on an amazing foot in this campaign.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We are raising money throughout this
And
campaign
thank
for
you, Ben.
Starlight Children's Foundation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ben.
That's an amazing way to start off. Thank you so much. Okay. So it is a cold, misty morning in Oakbend. The sun hasn't quite come up yet. And Rusty, you are awake early as usual, given your occupation, but today is different. Today, you are making a pie.
Oh, God.
And not just any
Ugh.
pie. You are making an ube pie.
Oh, I love it.
So
I love ube.
let's go ahead and walk us through your baking process. It's probably about 4 in the morning since pie drop-off is at 6.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, I'm going to go out. I'll go out into my rows of ube and heart-shaped tomatoes and little cherry tomatoes. And I hop my way out. And I'm going to get some fresh ube.
Excellent.
And I'm going to go wash it, take it back inside. And then let me Google how to make a ube pie because I have no idea how to do this.
Let's see how good of ubes you picked. Let's do our first roll of the campaign and go ahead and roll
Oh, gosh.
gardening. So much
Oh,
pressure.
gosh. How dare you?
Remember, we all do have an inspiration.
Yes.
First
How
roll.
dare
First roll.
you.
First roll.
First roll.
You
first.
put this on me?
Yes.
Oh, God. All right.
got
Here we
this.
go.
You're the one that's up
You
earliest.
find that good.
Oh,
ube.
okay. They're decently good ubes. Some are a little bit nicer than others. They're certainly not unusable. They're wonderful. They're juicy. I don't know. Ubes aren't juicy. They are plump.
Tasty.
They're plump.
Tasty.
They're
for
tasty.
sure.
They have all that good.
Vibrant.
They have all that good sugar in them. They're wonderful. So you go ahead and process them. Tim's making fun of me. It's fine. And walk us through your cooking process for this wonderful ube pie that you're going to present to the contest.
Basically, I'm making like a sweet potato pie, but with ube. Trey doesn't know how to make a sweet potato pie.
But I bet Rusty does. Go ahead and roll cooking.
Well, I'm sure Rusty does.
There you go.
Oh, no.
I believe in you, brother. Let's
Okay.
do this.
It's actually one of your better pies. You're used to more
Oh,
summery
gosh.
pies using those wonderful heart-shaped tomatoes you grow. Ube is a relatively new thing that you were given by one of your local villager friends. And you've been experimenting and seeing what might work. And this is not a bad pie. You're actually pretty proud of it.
Oh, thank goodness.
So I'm going to say that you make your way into town, drop off your pie, and then you can either hang around or go back and get a few extra hours of sleep before the festivities really kick in.
He's going to hop back to his farm, and he's just going to go tend to his heart-shaped tomatoes, see if any are ready to be picked, and gather some up in his picnic basket that he has, that he was given from a dear friend. And
A dear friend, haha.
a dear friend. Oh, no, I didn't even realize.
You know, those are the best puns, the accidental ones. It's just lovely.
And then I'm going to go, well, I'm waiting, I guess, for my good friend Tiddly to show up at some point.
And so we're going to go over and see what she's up to. You probably didn't wake up as early as Rusty, Tithly.
No, I
But
didn't.
your good friend Madge did, because she enters the pie contest every year. And she has been hard at work making this wonderful apple pie. And she has just quickly left to go drop it off and then come back for a quick snooze. What are you doing in this time period?
I have my little ladybug who just like skittles around me and my eyes should open. It's pie day. I look around like everybody get excited, put your game faces on. We're gonna go win this. Unless Madge wins, which is fine too. I love Madge. And I get up out of bed and I look at the clock and oh, it's time for compost delivery. So I'm gonna use the time spent by Madge in the kitchen on their apple pie
Mhm.
to be like, Madge, I'll be back later. And I run out and I have like this pre-packaged container that I'm going to take over to my friend Rusty so that he can fertilize his heart-shaped strawberries. And
Amazing.
yeah, I jog over. Like there's a like a walking track that goes across the open, and I've been like, this project has been my baby. So I am always using it, looking around, hoping people notice that I'm just walking around. And like eventually I'll get to Rusty's place. Compost delivery.
Let's
Good morning.
have you roll a bustle check to see how quickly and deftly you get that compost to Rusty.
Oh boy. Okay, a bustle check. Let's do this.
Okay, it's early.
I have inspiration. I'm gonna
Okay.
use it.
So early.
Or maybe I should save it for the pie.
It's whatever you want to use it for.
I'm gonna save it for the pie because I'm
Excellent.
competitive.
So it's real early. Madge woke you up early because it is Hoptop Festival Day, and the pie contest is the pinnacle of this festival. And it's 4 in the morning, both literally and in the game.
I can
And
relate.
you're not as spry as you normally would be delivering this as normal, like 7 in the morning or 6 in the morning. This is
Compost
early.
delivery.
He looks up from like his little garden. He says, "Oh, hey, hey, Italy,
Hi.
you look
It's
pretty
so
tired."
yeah, Madge was clanging around in the kitchen. You know, their pies are just the best, but they take so long to make, which means that I have to wake up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not
here,
fun.
let me grab that from you.
Do you have my sandwich or some strawberries? Either is fine. I'll just
I
save it.
have, I've got some heart-shaped tomatoes for you. I've already sliced them up,
Oh,
and
I love you, Rusty. And like pull over and like that's my breakfast. I'm like snacking.
I'll take some of
I'll
the
leave
stuff she's
a
brought.
portion
Nice.
for myself for something to do with later. Well, do you know what you're making? Are you gonna be using the ube? What's happening? Is it gonna be a strawberry pie? Can you tell
That's
me even?
it's definitely gonna be ube. I'm gonna have to thank Sky when I see her because I freaking love these things. And
They're so pretty.
I know, look at the color. I'll sort of hop over to one of the little ube roots and sort of grab one up and just look at it and show it to Italy.
Whoa, they're
I,
so juicy.
I don't know if they're supposed to be juicy,
Oh, well,
but
these ones look like they are.
they
Maybe
sure
that's a good
are.
thing.
I
Are you
suppose we'll
done with
see.
your pie?
Pretty much. I'm finishing it up over there in the oven right now, and then I'm gonna run it down, submit it.
Is it too early to ask for a bite?
I knew you were gonna say that. Here, I'll
Of course
cut
I
you a slice
was.
when it's done.
Okay, I will hold you to that. I'm gonna go back because I need to work on my pie and I don't want to be late or I don't want my pie to like be undercooked or something. So
Right, right.
I grab my little basket of remaining strawberries, with holding that in one hand, wrap my other hand around to give you like a quick hug. See you, Rusty. Bye. And
Bye.
as I'm running, I will, if there's any trees around your farm, I will just wave at the trees and mumble hello to all of them and hope they're having a good morning as I keep running.
Roll a Flora friendship check.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. Hold on. Flora friendship. Yeah,
Saying hi to
that's
the
my
trees. Some of the trees
skill.
wave back.
So, oh yay, that's nice. That's made my morning. I mean, no, the strawberries and Rusty did, but like that added to it.
Yeah, just a
Sure.
little bit of more of a pick me up, and you go back to the
Little
greenhouse
lamia.
and prepare your pie. And what kind of pie are you making?
Oh, I am making a lemon baklava pie. Right?
Ooh.
So the crust is flaky, phyllos like layered, like, pastry with like butter and then another layer of pastry and then butter, and it's like super flaky. And then there is a bottom layer of pistachios. Okay. I am not very good at cooking, but I saw this in one of Madge's recipe books and I was like, I'm just going to use this for later. Do you mind if I make this one? And we had that whole conversation. Um, but uh, on top of the pistachio, there's going to be a layer of lemon curd. So
Amazing.
when I get back, I am like making that lemon curd, making sure it doesn't overheat, trying to, we'll see how these things go. I don't cook often, Madge does. So this is an ambitious project that I've set for myself.
Go ahead and roll cooking to see how you fare with this very complicated but delicious sounding pie.
Yes. Cooking, which is totally a skill that I have.
It
Hey!
was tough.
I will use my inspiration now.
Do it.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hey!
there we go.
Hey!
All right.
So you see that it's about to catch. The edges of that very fine phyllo dough look like they're just about to burn, and you get it out super quickly, and it's a little messy looking, but we'll just call that rustic, and it smells
Yeah.
amazing.
I see that the lemon curd is cracked a little bit on top. It's
Eh.
supposed to be a whole smooth thing, but I have the heart-shaped strawberries from Rusty. So I'm going to like decor them and like, slice them and like fan them up.
Very
You know how they
nice.
do in like pretty restaurants and like layer it in a way that covers up some slight imperfections. So
Amazing. This sounds so good, and I need a snack now.
I spent
But
2 weeks trying to figure out what my pie is going to be. So
oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Just as you are fanning out the strawberries, let's say it's like 5:30. You are cutting it real close to the drop-off time. We're going to pan over and see what Sky is up to this misty morning.
Yes, indeed. So overhead, if you happen to be glancing up into the dawning sky, you see a flurry of black raven-like feathers spread wide in wings that just soar through the sky, and Sky is doing a flyover to check on her friends, to make sure that they're running on time, making sure that they're getting their entries in. Now, unfortunately, Sky doesn't cook very well at all. So she's usually a busy lady, so she's usually traveling more than she has time to cook. Although, even though baking in particular is not her style, you should try her shrimp creole sometime. Now you hear. But in any event, I do believe that if Tithley and Rusty are helping him get together his supplies just before Tithley leaves, I think she will swoop on over and say, "Hey y'all, good morning to you and happy Hop Top Day." As they say, on a day like today, you gotta hop to it.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Sky, how are you doing?
Hey there, my friend.
Hi.
Oh, my friends. Oh, I smell the delicious smells coming out of Rusty's kitchen already. Ooh, you know what? I've got something for you. And she's gonna dig in her messenger bag, and she's gonna bring out a little packet of seeds for Rusty, and she will say, "Now, it smells like. Are you going to be using the ube today?"
I absolutely am. Really, I have to thank you so much. It's so delicious.
Oh, I can't wait to taste it. And here are more seeds where that came from.
Oh
I
my
know
goodness.
I know that if it's harvest time now, I want to make sure that you're up to speed for next season. All right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Oh,
and one more thing. And she will take out a piece of paper, and it's kind of curled up, and she'll hand it to you, and it's not too big a ream of paper. It's just a small scroll, and she will hand it to you and say, "My friend, now aside from my maps, you know that I've been trying to help you out with your marketing because you've got the heart-shaped strawberries, you've got the heart-shaped tomatoes. What do you think about Heart of the Land?" And she'll stand there waiting for you to unscroll the scroll.
He reaches over and grabs it and opens it up.
And when you unfurl it, you will see a lovely heart shape with Heart of the Land in a lovely script. Because as she creates maps, she is also a bit of an artist as well. So she's been trying to come up with a great design to help Rusty sell his products at market.
I would like
And
you to roll
especially,
the arts check to see how
okay,
good of a design this is.
let's see. Let's see. Here's hoping.
All right.
I've got some skills in it. All right, not bad. 11.
Yeah. So go continue and describe the intricacies of this design that you've put together for Rusty.
I think because it is still a prototype of a design, it's not fully flourished yet, but certainly I think the script in particular is the most eye-catching part of it. We have yet to maybe put in a little scenery in the background, something lovely to reflect the wonderful landscape that we live in. What do you think?
I think it's perfect, Sky. Y'all are too nice to me. Truly. Oh my goodness.
Now, don't
I
you worry, Titali. I've got you next. We're
Oh,
going to make sure to get a design done for everybody.
is it for the park? Is it for the dinners that we do at the park with Kay?
Yes, indeed. Now I remember, if correct me if I'm wrong, but on some of the tours that I've recently done, I think you and I had talked about wayfinding. Just to spruce up the signs along the way. Whenever I give tours in the park, just to help folks know where to go and what nice areas there are in the park.
That sounds amazing. Wait, can I see it now or
Oh, it's a
is it later?
secret. Still
Okay.
working on it.
You know
But
I love secrets so much. It's gonna be exciting. Okay,
we will
I
definitely workshop it. All
I
right.
I, I
Well,
do have to go
yes.
make my pie. And I
Yes.
give I have very frantic energy this morning. I've
oh
been woken up
god.
too early and I am just all over the place. So I wrap both my arms around Sky and say, "You're amazing. Thank you so much. You didn't really have to, but I really appreciate that you did. Okay, pie.
See you
What
at
if
the
my philo
contest.
burns? Bye."
Toodaloo. And I think Sky will also give a bow and say to Rusty, "Well, Rusty, I will see you at the contest. I'm going to go check out what iRock is doing and make sure that she's prepped and ready. Bye now."
I tip my straw hat.
And then she'll zoom off to see what iRock is up to.
And I'm going to have you roll a vigor check to see if you can just flap your wings as hard as you can to get over to Irock's house. Bed and breakfast.
Okay, let's go. Vigor, you say? Correct?
Vigor.
Here we go.
All right.
All right.
We're getting a lot
Not
of
bad.
matched rolls.
11.
That's interesting.
Yes. All right. I'm just glad I'm in double digits this early because, perhaps my cousins, the Roosters, love to get up this early, but I sure don't. So, so just taking my time.
And we are going to pan over to the bed and breakfast where Iraq, it is busy. It is Hoptop Festival Day. You have many guests. There is so much going on. What are you doing on this early morning?
So iRock has all hands on deck. So all the little village children are around, and they're running around serving breakfast to the few guests that there are. Because while it is Hoptop season, IROC refuses and will not host more than 3 or 4 rooms. Uh, no, that's just too much.
Hmm.
And so they're running around, and there's these little tartlets that are being sort of served, made from a sort of crumbly leftover pie dough, because IROC himself is entering a pie, and he's just given the children some coins to be like, you go attend to the guests and handle them, and I will attend to the pie. And I think we get a quick shot earlier in the morning of him just slowly grasping different things from the garden, not even looking, as he goes to this garden that grows like overhead and all over. Like the roof of this B&B doesn't exist. It's just covered in vines and overgrowth as IROC lets the garden speak to whatever it wants to do. So he's not sure what he's actually grabbed. There's definitely some red crimson gooseberries in there.
Ooh.
Probably some tomatoes, a little bit of raspberry. He also probably grabbed like a zucchini. That happened.
Just
And so it's a mixed pie. It's just whatever looked lumpus and had the most aroma to it, that had that succulent edge.
I would like you to roll, and I'll let you
Mhm.
choose, because this is the garden speaking to you. You can either roll gardening or flora friendship to see how well the garden spoke to you this morning.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see. Gardening.
Or
I'm
yeah,
gonna go
flora
with
friendship.
gardening.
Either
Go with
one.
gardening.
All right.
Oh my
So
goodness.
3 11s
It
in a
does all
row.
like to match.
Everyone's just middle of
We're
the road right
strictly
now.
average today, and
Yes.
I'm okay with it.
It's better than
Yeah,
well, no,
I'll
because
take
being
that.
like amazing would be amazing, but it's better than like rolling in single digits. So the garden gave
Correct.
you a very nice harvest. It feels like this whole festival is about harvest and the ending of the summer season, and it has just given you a bounty to work with on this pie.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
so IROC has taken it and he's made emulsifications. He's slipped in some condensed milk and things like that to make a nice creamy sort of substrate on top. And then he's also taken his cloven hooves so that instead of having a fully covered pie, there's like little stamps out of it that are shaped like his hooves.
Oh, go ahead and roll
Nice.
cooking. I
Ooh.
want to see how this turns out.
Yeah.
Oh, it
That's a
is
big
the
Oh
best
my
pie
god.
ever.
Woo!
The garden
Nailed it.
chose
Did it.
well. So
And it's
you,
it's funny because yeah,
yeah, no, continue.
yeah.
Like,
To
describe
just
this
move it along.
amazing pie. You just were in the
Yeah.
zone. What's it
He's
look
just humming
like?
to himself, moving with nature.
Yeah.
He's taken what the garden has given, and he's in this kitchen, this ages-old kitchen that belonged to the hedge witch that owned before him, and he just lets his sort of senses and whimsy guide him as he reaches out and grabs a spice, and it's, star anise, and then like nutmeg and cinnamon, and just lets it all sieve through and just slowly goes, and he like hushes anyone that comes into the kitchen because this is a place of peace right now. Pieces of pie. Uh, and as he gets this particular one ready, and then there's little preview samples of it that are going out to the guests, and he says, reminds them, this is the glorious place to stay. You'll get previews of pies of the day.
Amazing, 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 amazing. And it's in this wonderful moment of peace and in the zoneness that you hear the flapping of wings as Sky touches down
Oh,
just outside the bed and breakfast.
And I
Yes,
think I
indeed.
have a
Arak, how are you, love?
yes. Oh, Sky, beloved Sky. It is wonderful. In fact, after today's festivities, I've got, and he'll like trot over with his little hooves to the little corkboard he keeps up, and he's got little messages about how you can visit and support all of his friends, not limited to, but certainly including Sky's tour guide, and he's got one of these little like sign-up sheets, and he's like, I've got Mr. Winthrop, Snowball, and the Berry Blossoms, and this young couple brought their really cute little tiny snoozles little thing. They all want to go on a trip with you, and I hand over. So as soon as you can arrange a time, let me know, and I will tell them.
Wonderful.
They're up on breakfast right now if you want some.
Wonderful. Oh, you always know how to take care of me, especially after I've had a good morning of a good flight. And now I think what would be challenging, because one of the things that's most challenging to Sky is staying in one place at one time and keeping track of all the little bibs and bobs that she has with her. And so that piece of paper is very important. And I'm hoping that when she puts it in her satchel, that she'll remember it later, but she might not. Just wanted to throw that out to our storyteller, just in case it's a juicy bit of story plot.
We're going to do an
I
initial
think so,
focusing
yeah.
check. So go ahead.
Oh,
and roll
dear.
focusing.
Okay. Let's see.
You got this, Sky.
We
You
are
got
here
this.
for
Do
it.
it.
Let's see.
Mm.
Focusing. Oh no, it's only a 4. Okay.
You grab it and you kind of as you're like still talking, Tyrock, you like put it in one of the many pockets in this messenger bag. Maybe you'll remember it later, but at this moment you weren't consciously aware of where you put it in the messenger bag.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
think
think
you're distracted because IROC is gonna reach over like and just pull one of like the little plates that's like some little small child is running around, maybe the mayor's son, Tabby, and is gonna take this little tarlet and just put it into your mouth.
oh, that's so good. Oh yes. Oh my
I call it
goodness.
my mixed pie.
Okay, all right. Now, I think it may need just a little bit of coriander, just a little bit. What do you think?
Okay. I could definitely do a little bit of coriander. And you watch as he sort of takes Sky back into the kitchen, which is also beautiful, like open lighting and earth and roots sort of grow across the windows. So like you can open them, but there's like this string there. And he will reach the shelves and find the coriander. And of course he'll toast it. He's not a monster. And he'll grind it with a little bit of sugar. And will
Ooh.
sort of go to where the edges have been struck out by the hooves, line it with sugar, and then he will let me know if this is okay, because I know this isn't exactly how magic works here, but he is of the
Yeah.
fire. That is the emblem to which he dances. So I imagine one of the little hooves just heightens with heat a little as he sort of caramelizes, almost like a creme brulee. The little sugar making glassy windows of cardamom sugar that glaze over the hooves, giving them sort of this lovely, shocking sort of like cracking ability for when someone cuts into the pie.
Amazing. Absolutely. Especially with that 20 that you rolled earlier, I will 100% allow that. This is the most glorious sounding pie. All of them have sounded so good.
Thank
Indeed.
you, Sky. That was a wonderful thought. I think it will create an extra body of dimension and texture.
Oh my goodness, yes. Oh, and I can't wait to tell you some of the beautiful places that I've visited this week. And I
Yeah.
think that's when the Sky would definitely go further down the rabbit hole of forgetting her list and just, talk up a storm, almost literally, about her most recent adventures.
I would almost like to imagine that Sky is talking as Irock is finishing up the pie and then like leaving to go place the pie. Sky still talking. You make your way into town, still talking, and
Yep.
you all meet
Mhm.
up in
Mhm.
town to drop off your pies. It's just before 6 a.m. And all across the village of Oakbend, you see fresh twine peppered with multicolored cobs of corn and glossy baubles strung across the roads as avenues between the thatched roofs and small homes have stalls with a myriad of trinkets, vegetables, pastries, anything you would want for a festival. Each cottage home puffs out wispy white smoke through their chimneys as warm amber-colored light radiates out as the sun just begins to rise. The streets are busy as there are other pie contestants and people are setting up their stalls and hanging even more decorations. This is a huge affair in the town of Oakbend. You see people rushing about with bags mostly filled with groceries as they prepare their own meals for hearth warming tonight. Tall baguette here, a large gourd there. It's clear that they are all preparing for the holiday to come, as it is still quite early in the morning. There's a pleasant urgency to the village, and the aroma of all the kitchens in the village just lighting up in the morning. Pies, pastries, anything you could want on this warm autumn day. And as you place your pies on the table, you notice that there are already a good number of them there. There is this tall, domed latticework pie. There is, and I need to look at the descriptions. There is a wonderful caramelized savory pie in the middle. And then there is a crescent-shaped pie that has this sort of dark berry and wine looking deep red center to it.
Ooh.
But amongst all of these, as you go to put down your various wonderful pies, there is this 2-foot, incredibly large, massive concoction of pastry. It is elaborately decorated. It is massive. And it doesn't have a name tag on it, like all the other pies.
Ooh, interesting.
Who wants to take a closer look at this pie?
I sure would. I know I would.
I would love to.
Okay, both of you roll a noticing check.
All right.
I'll
let's
join
see.
in. When I see Sky and Rusty wander over, I'm like, what's happening? I want to find out.
Pies.
There is this pie going on. Ooh, but oh, there it is. Rusty, I see a twinkle in your eye. Do you have any idea who might have concocted this enormous pie?
He very slowly looks it over.
And you see an amazing, if a bit disjointed bit of decoration. This pie has little cutouts of pastry dough all along the top. There's one that looks like a crow's head with a muddied beak. There's half a sausage. Not an actual sausage, but the decoration of half a sausage cut out in pastry. There's a single daffodil, a twin pile of spices, and the final decoration is a scorched moon. All on top of this very gigantic pie. You can pick out the ingredients within. It actually smells quite a bit like Iraq's mixed pie. But not as put together. It is definitely a slapdash sort of mix of things. Not a lot of planning. This seems to be a late entry, last minute effort, if you will.
Well,
Now-
it's quite an ostentatious sort of menagerie of various decorations. Honestly, to me, it seems a bit thrown together. It kind of smells like what you got, Iraq.
Oh, interesting. Perhaps.
Whoever made
perhaps
this,
someone else.
it's very last second.
It's interesting though. I wouldn't have thought to craft sausage out of pie dough.
It's very
Yeah, that
unique.
one's
Or a
got me.
crow.
You know,
It
it
doesn't-
kind of reminds me of when you go to the beach and you see those folks who not only build sandcastles, but they kind of make faces and creatures and just take the sand art to another level. I mean, for that alone, that I suppose somebody could give this person a for effort. But I don't know. I think I agree with you, Rusty. It seems a little bit all over the place.
It is quite an accomplishment. It's just a bit strange.
Hmm.
And it's at this
Maybe
moment
it tastes
that
good.
it might taste good, yeah. All the pie contest officially happens later in the day at the hearthwarming at the mayoral mansion. Mayor Montesquieu puts on quite a good party, And that is where the leaping of the Hoptops occurs as well. So all those festivities occur later in the day. The pies are out on display for everyone to see throughout the festival daytime activities. But it is at this moment, as you're all pondering this pie, that Tithly, you feel these great scaly arms just wrap you in a big hug. And, oh, Tithly, it's the worst. There has been such a tragedy. And you recognize this as Madge. Yeah.
Well, what's wrong? What's wrong? Are you okay?
I went to get breakfast this morning, and I left my pie on the counter for just a moment, and as I was getting scones, Holly had some issue in the back. There was some sort of commotion. I went to help her, and when I got back, this awful crow had eaten my pie.
Oh my
God.
word.
Well, okay, we still have the rest of the day, right? The competition happens at the end, and maybe there's still time. And look, there's so many of us. Maybe we can put together a pie, all of us together. It's gonna be okay. You're the pie champion, all right? Undisputed.
And she
I bow
has
down.
literal crocodile tears as a snootling. And you see their partner, Calfione, run up. It's just a pie, Madge. It's fine. You've won just last year. You don't have to worry about
It's a
it.
big deal, Cal. Come
Oh,
on.
I know, but at that moment you hear the bell chime 6 from the town square, and that was the cutoff for pies to be displayed and entered.
Oh dear.
And Madge just erupts in another, oh, it's too late. I worked so hard. You saw how early I was up, and I really wanted to win this year again, and oh.
Oh my dear, that is quite unfortunate. You know what? Sky turns to Teetherly, I think, and says, you know what? Perhaps I might be able to get the scoot on who might have done such a terrible thing. I wonder, storyteller, is there any role that Sky might be able to do to see if she can get in on the hot goss around the campgrounds, just to see if anyone's talking maybe about it, or if I sense anything odd?
Roll a snooping check.
Oh, let's see. All right.
Excellent.
Hello.
Hot goss.
With
You know what?
Here
that
we go.
Eye in the sky.
Oh my goodness. Let's
That's
see.
a welcome
I
through for
think
Sky,
so. I
too.
think. So I think I'll try to console poor Madge and say, "Listen, my dear, I'm so sorry that this has happened to you, but we're gonna find out who did what." And I'll give a wink over to Titley and go ahead and take off and
Before you
just
go,
vroom. Oh yes.
but maybe there's a crow head on this new pie. Maybe this is a signature. I don't know. I read a lot. I was reading this one book where there's this. Sorry, this is not the time. But maybe these are clues.
And
Why would
Madge
someone
looks
put
at
a
the pie and goes,
crow's
oh,
head?
that's the same crow, the very same that ruined my pie over at the bakery. This must be a cursed pie. And she kind of huffs and stares at it, kind of giving it the evil eye.
Then at that point, I think what will be very important is that we capture a picture of this very pie, just in case it does get eaten later. It's going to change shape. So I think Sky would pull out her parchment and her quill pen and start to just lightly sketch an outline of what this pie looks like, get in a little bit of the details there. So if there's a roll, perhaps
Of
to
the
see
arts
how
roll.
well, just
The
to see how
arts
well she
or
captures it.
noticing. Either one.
Mhm. Now, I will preface this by saying it is a very quick sketch, so we'll see how she does.
You do
very
a very
well.
good likeness of the
Okay.
pie. Yes, you get all the details, all
Okay.
5 of those imageries. Their proportions are great. It's actually quite a good sketch.
Very good. And just very quickly, so that she has that for reference, and then scoops up everything, puts it back in her satchel very securely. And then she says, "Don't worry, Tiddly. We will help your friend today, all right?"
Okay, I appreciate your help. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Sky. You're the
All
best.
right. See you later, toodaloo, and just launches off. And probably at least a feather or two, a black feather or two, floats to the ground, as is usually happens when Sky takes off in a hurry, and just makes the rounds, just doing a gentle circle around the campgrounds here, just to see if she sees anyone acting odd or anything odd.
With that snooping roll, which was an amazing roll, nothing immediately strikes you as off. It's a pretty standard hustle and bustle for a festival day. One thing that does catch your eye, though, is a golden dog that is running through the streets untethered.
Dear, oh, that's not good. Oh, imagine if that little one gets in the pies. Oh, that is not acceptable. And goes to swoop on down. Do I see a collar attached to said golden dog?
There is definitely a collar. I think there is a roll for this. Go ahead and roll a
Okay.
noticing check.
Okay. Now, let's see. Noticing. All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Damn.
You see this bright blue collar on this dog, and where the name tag would be, the little like dog tag, there is a metal charm of a daffodil.
oh, I see. Now, if memory serves, there was a daffodil shape on the pie, the mysterious pie, if I'm not mistaken. Am I familiar with the symbology of that daffodil? Does that correspond to someone's family in particular?
Um, Roll a local lore.
Let's see.
Storyteller, can I ask what the symbols are again? Crow, sausage, daffodil.
God damn.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
The head of a crow. Wow. The head of a crow with
Share.
a muddied beak. Now we're getting into those amazing rolls. A
Yeah.
half of a sausage. 2 piles of spices. Let me
Okay.
see. I had the paper. Crow's head,
Piles
a
of
daffodil, the spices, half a sausage, and a scorched moon. As in the pastry moon is scorched.
Got it. Hmm.
At this
And
point,
with
Madge has
that-
calmed down quite a bit. With that roll, Sky, you do know that this is Daffodil. She is Holly Tumbledown's dog. Holly Tumbledown runs the Bright Blue Bakery. And
I
Holly
see.
also has a pie in today's contest. That's the Great Latticed one. That was the first one we all
Okay.
noticed.
I understand. All right.
While Sky,
I think that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to just ask if Sky is familiar with this dog. I imagine that she's familiar enough with her owner on a friendly basis. Yes.
Yeah, Holly is new-ish to Oakbend and has tried to make friends with everyone. So, and her cooking speaks for itself. Everyone loves cookies and pastries. So she has made an effort to make herself a known entity in her short time here. I think she's been here for 2 years.
Excellent. Well, I think if this little doggy is running through the street, I think she will try to zip ahead of him really quickly and try to flap her wings wide to stop their progress. So I don't know what I might roll for that, if
Wonderful.
any.
This is a contested roll with the dog. Roll a bustle check.
Ooh, okay.
And I should roll that
good.
live because you all are rolling
Roll
live.
good, please. Please roll good.
Okay. And then that's a +6 for the dog. So you spread your wings wide, and the dog kind of
okay.
like balks and then like gets down into a play bow and then like runs the other way.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! come back. And she'll try to take off again after the doggy. I think if there's any way to see which direction that the little doggy is headed, she definitely doesn't want to chase Daffodil down a street that they may fall into a ditch by accident, or run into an area that's not so safe
Right.
for such a little dog. So she may take to the sky again, if that's all right,
Mhm.
and just try to see what direction is Daffodil headed.
You are able to see that Daffodil is heading mostly towards the bakery, but the bakery's in the center of town. So you are going to see her, again, kind of make the rounds around that sort of northwestern part of town by the bakery, a
Okay.
little bit close to like the farm where Rusty lives. And I'm going to say while you're kind of tracking all this, we're going to hop back to everyone that's still at the pie tent and see what
I
they're
see
up
what you did
to.
there, storyteller.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we are going to, at this point, Madge has calmed down. Cal has given her a couple reassuring pats. Tithly, you have helped her calm down a bit.
Once
Mm.
they've calmed down,
Yeah.
m- my gears are ticking. If this is a clue, I turn to Irock and Rusty. Are you busy today? Would you want to help us find out who might have done this?
Of course, I'm happy to help. And Mix Madge, if this is something of such great meaning to you, I sort of step back and sort of grab between their hooves the little tag that has his name on it. We could always share in what I have done.
Oh. And she like wipes away. Oh, I couldn't do that, Arga. You worked so hard, and it looks like the most amazing pie, and it definitely has your
But
signature
I've
on it
learned,
with little hoof prints.
oh, thank you. But I learned most of what I ever learned about pies from you.
Oh my gosh, this is too
This is
cute.
true. We all did.
Go ahead and roll. What would be the right thing for this?
Uh,
I'm gonna call this
Maybe
a
straight
relish roll,
personality
or a
or
personality or
relish.
relish, whichever you would prefer.
I'm gonna go personality. Ooh, that was not a nice roll.
Oh dear.
I'm still gonna say with everything that's happened, you and Madge know each other quite well. They live nearby the B&B. To your point, you've done a lot of cooking and baking together, so it's gonna take a little bit of hemming and hawing, but she's going to eventually agree to let you share the glory of this wonderful pie that you made.
And I have them sign their name on the bottom of the card, so it's like IROC and then Madge, and then they'll
Oh.
put it back and smile and say, "What is worth delighting in an activity if one does not do it with?"
Oh. And she's gonna sniffle, or they're gonna sniffle a little bit and just like wrap you in this big, big hug and just kind of pick you up a
Mhm.
little bit because you're quite slight. And then to put you back down and say, I will find a way to repay you for this. This is one of the nicest things anyone has ever done for me. Tithly, look how nice your friend is.
I know. Irock. I turn to them and I say, "You're
Mhm.
so wise and you're so kind. I I'm just really glad that I can call you my friend. Thank you so much. This was really kind of you."
I'm glad to have made friends in this new wonderful place as well. So speaking of though, mixed match, I'm glad I did help. But Tiffany, you were saying you wished for us to advise you and help you, whatever we may do for
Yes,
that. I know I'm willing.
I have a theory. I point at the sausage. If if these are clues of who might have done it, or where this might have happened, or where it might happen next, maybe the sage sausage is a place we could check out. And look, and my hand sort of my finger shifts over to the moon. Maybe this is the crescent moon vinery. maybe these are places. Maybe we should
That
go.
is right.
The daffodil I don't recognize, but these other two, they're in the names of these places, right? So maybe that's worth checking out. I don't know.
I know. I think do not, and he'll take a couple steps forward and gently sort of pat Tiffany's shoulder. Do not doubt where your head and your heart guide, because I think these are ways and things that make sense, and you should follow them. You called me wise, but you too are intuitive.
Oh,
And I believe with that knowledge and understanding, and he'll turn to Rusty. And Rusty's stalwart understanding, the three of us, along with our eyes in the sky, can find out what made this occurrence happen.
yeah. But well, thank you. What do you think the spice? It looks like two piles. I don't. What is that? The fire station? I don't know what that represents.
Tiffany, go ahead and
Rusty.
roll a noticing check or a focusing check to see if you can discern more about those decorations.
I will do focusing
Okay.
with I can roll it with vigor or I think. Okay, I'm just gonna roll.
Excellent.
Hey,
There you go.
nice.
You stare so intently at this pie. And you notice as you're like staring at it and the sun is starting to rise in the sky, the sun glitters off of these decorations, almost as if the maker had intended them to look like a pile of sugar and salt. They glitter with a sort of glazing of, you can't tell which, but one of those sort of granular spices.
Huh. Maybe it's salt and sugar. Maybe it's a restaurant. I don't. Well, what do you think? I
Maybe, I mean, could be like arcane confections, something like that. I
mm,
mean, that's the only place I could think of.
That's
That seems like a sound guess.
right. Well, we must write this down. All good detectives have a notebook. And as a park ranger myself, I'm already in uniform. Even though it is my day off, I am in my safari colored like uniform, and I have like a little hat that hangs off like this, and I put that on and I'm suiting up and I take my little notebook out, and it usually has my to-do list of like all the tasks I have for the day, but I flip to a new page and I click my little arcane pen and I start writing down what we have so far. And like, okay, well, let's wait for Sky and see what she has to say. And if we learn anything new, we can just or we can head to the Sage Sausage, maybe see what's happening there. Does that? No, I'm confident. I think that's what we should do. And I look at
And you
Ira.
say, I'm confident. You say that, and Irok just gives you a small nod. And then, as you sort of smile, he looks and tilts his head and will reach. And he's like, I don't carry a pen and pad because I'm not a detective, but I do carry these. Have either of you actually eaten today? And he like looks at you and looks at Rusty because he knows that like Tiffany sometimes doesn't eat, and he brings out the two little picnic baskets because he's got enough biscuit baskets for everyone, and is like, a good detective should also be well fed. And there's a thermos of thistle tea inside, as well as those little tarts that have like a small scoop in the middle of what the filling is that actually is the mix or harvest pie that he has made. Because not just judges should enjoy, everyone should enjoy.
As if right on cue, Titli's stomach grumbles a little bit, and she takes the basket and has this like very grateful but also very gleeful smile. Oh, thank you so much. And she'll sit down on like a little picnic bench that I'm sure there's many of them around for the festival.
Yeah.
And she starts like spreading it out. I'm like, Rusty, come share. Do you have the same thing? Do we have different things? Maybe we should share so we can try everything out, Sit, sit, sit. And
I'm gonna
like,
sit down.
I
Yeah. Rusty's is actually different, which is interesting because the rest of the picnic baskets are the same, but Rusty always gets a special thing. So Rusty has the same little tartlet that you have, and Rusty still has thistle tea, but additionally, there's a shortbread that's baked in the shape of a heart
Oh.
with the overlapping of a candied tomato.
Oh
Ooh.
God, my goodness, Ira, you y'all are too nice to me.
No,
I,
no,
I
no. You provide the tomatoes.
I'll reach back. I have my own. I still had the first picnic basket you gave me, and I'll reach in and
Um,
I'll pull some heart shaped strawberries and some heart shaped tomatoes, and I'll pull out a little knife that I carry on me, and I'll just start cutting up some slices and handing them out to everyone. Well, it's
yes,
always a good time to chow down.
make sure you
I
save a
think it is
slice for
second
Sky.
breakfast. Mhm.
I put like a little bit of everything that was in my basket aside for Sky, and like I'll make a little
Oh.
toasty with the jam and just like set like a little plate for her when she gets back. And then I'll
Yes,
just start.
good detectives. Good detectives can't work on an empty stomach.
Adorable.
This we should write this down. This is important for all future detectives of
These are
Oakbend.
life lessons.
Agreed. So I'll write it down. All good detectives must work on a well-fed stomach.
And it is at this wonderful moment of picnic peace, and I rolled for this, and I'm so sorry. A golden dog comes barreling through where you are picnicking, barking and happy and in a very playful mood. And it sees all this lovely food you have laid out, and it like gets into that play bow again, and it snags something. I will let Iraq roll for this to see what it
Oh
picks
Okay.
up.
You may hear in the distance, someone stop that little dog.
All right. Just a standard D20.
Just a standard D20, yeah.
Oh
All right.
no.
Gonna see if it's something big or something small.
Choppers. Oh no. Don't do
Okay, it was something
7.
relatively small, so we'll say that in this quick moment, as Sky is above head and Daffodil, the dog, is in that playbow stance, she grabs half of one of those pies and bolts to the Bright Blue Bakery.
Oh dear me. Oh, and you will see the Sky will come in for a swoop by, probably hover a little bit and say, "Y'all, that little dog is Daffodil. They are making their way over to the Bright Blue Bakery. Come on over and meet me there. Hurry!"
Hey,
And she'll swoop off and take off after little Daffodil again.
Poor
I'll
Daffodil.
salvage whatever I can for when Daffodil comes over, I'm gonna try to the plate that I set aside for Sky, just like pick it up and hold it up so that so that Daffodil can't get to it because I don't want Sky to miss out on any of this.
I'm gonna say that Daffodil took from
Mm.
one of the baskets rather than the plate you had put aside. So no
Wow.
worries there.
Get y'all some friends that will save that food for you till the
Amazing.
Got
end.
you.
Oh
I
my
love it.
goodness. So, what are you all doing?
Giving
I think we're
chase.
going after Daffodil.
Certainly,
Yeah.
just still eye in the sky, just trying to catch up with Daffodil as quickly as possible. But if I definitely see her, making her way over there to the Bright Blue Bakery, I will just continue my course. Mhm.
Excellent. The Bright Blue Bakery is not far from the town square where you all just were. So,
Mhm.
if you're all heading that way, I'm assuming.
Well,
Yes.
I start running and then I look up at the sky and I say, "Wait a minute." And you see these large monarch butterfly wings unfurl from my back, and they're almost iridescent when the light hits them differently. It's different shades of blue and turquoise and purple, and like my wings flap and I will also take to the skies to follow Sky. And just so you know, I can get out of the little hustle bustle of the festival and give myself clear skies.
Beautiful. Love it. You two are flying. Rusty and Irok, what are you doing in this moment?
Rusty will sort of slip his arm through the picnic basket and start quickly grabbing up the small plates and napkins that they have set out and putting it in the picnic basket before looking over at Irok. Taking a deep breath. Are you ready?
Always. And Arok just going to smile. I believe the call to adventure is that.
I'm getting too old for this. And then we'll run.
Oh, Rusty, you're just a tadpole. And start striding towards where this dog had run. But it's like a very relaxed stride. Like he's not rushing. There's two people in the sky darting forward. He doesn't need to run.
Right. It's a little trot.
Yeah.
So you two on the ground and you two up in the sky, because this building sticks out from everything else in Oakbend. The colors of Oakbend tend to be these very soft, warm, red terracotta roofs, yellow plaster on the outside. The bright blue bakery is aptly named for its incredibly blue shingled roof, incredibly blue front door. And the only thing that stopped Holly from painting the whole building blue was the town going, maybe, maybe we stick a little bit to tradition, and not wanting to upset the mayor or her new neighbors. She's like, okay, fine, I'll leave a little bit of what was there, of the old facade. We got a hydrate from Indrani, thank you.
Thank
Got it.
you.
I was
Cheers.
like, I'm gonna have some, so everybody's
Yes, everybody, water break. But up ahead, you do see this quaint village shop, and again, that stunning blue door and awnings. It has a golden line sign that hangs down, reading proudly, "The Bright Blue Bakery." On the door, you see a smaller sign that says, "Come on in, proprietor Miss Holly Tumbledown." There is a pleasant warmth and light, as today is a festival day and Holly is busy putting together pastries and cookies and all manner of things for the festival ahead. There are loaves and muffins and scones arranged on the counter and across the window display, and several hungry crows seem to be pecking at some crumbs outside the door.
Oh, interesting. All right. I imagine. Do they get spooked if and when Daffodil inevitably runs up to the front entrance?
Oh, absolutely. Daffodil goes barreling down the rather narrow road that is between these buildings, and the crows scatter, but they're on the roofs because there is still quite a nice meal to be had on the ground.
Mhm.
Daffodil rushes into the open door of the bakery, all these wonderful smells wafting out. And you hear, "Oh, there you are! Been looking all over for you."
Hello there, Holly. Oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt your morning. Uh, my friends and I, we're just coming on up. Hey, y'all, Holly's here. Just calling over her shoulder.
Oh, quite the group
I
we've got together. It's still quite early, but a lot of people have already come in for breakfast. Anything I can get for you?
Well, I do wish this was more of a social call. However, we spotted poor Daffodil just running circles round town and wanted to make sure that she got back to you.
Oh, yeah, it was the strangest thing this morning. Madge came in for some breakfast. She had this wonderful pie, and I heard a commotion out back. I went to go check it out. Madge was so lovely and helped me with it. But when I came back, Daffodil's lead was cut, and poor Madge's pie was in tatters.
So we heard how Madge's poor, awful anguish, not just a little bit ago, and we wanted to stop on by and just maybe investigate a little bit. Matter of fact, I saw there was a group of crows out front. Friends of yours?
Oh, they're here for the pie. I'm assuming one of them are what messed up Madge's pie, but I need to go clean that up so that they don't attract worse things to come around like the rats and the mice. But, I let them have their breakfast and then I'll clean up whatever's left. Feel free to look around. I just made some fresh scones if you'd like them right out of the oven.
Oh, that sounds just divine.
And she's gonna
Thank
leave
Take
the
one.
plate on the counter. Yeah.
Now, storyteller,
Mhm.
I know that we are in the middle
Ray was
of
gonna say
a
something.
very cozy game.
Hold on.
Yes,
I,
go.
can we?
Hello?
Oh, I couldn't hear Kay. Sorry, you were speaking, but I couldn't.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought you had your hand up. I thought something.
Oh, no.
Titley was gonna do something.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Sorry.
No
Reset,
worries,
continue.
no
Yeah.
worries. Reading you loud and clear. Just wanted to ask storyteller, is that now I know we're playing a very cozy game. However, do I believe her
Ooh.
when Holly says that she's not quite sure what was going on?
Go ahead and roll snooping.
Oh dear. Okay.
I think I Rock is also gonna try and key in on this, although I
Yeah.
don't know if he's quite as astute.
I just believe Holly. I'm not a very good detective.
Irock, you can go ahead and
Mhm.
roll a snooping as well. Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Oof.
She
That's
does
that's
seem to be telling the truth. She does seem rather flustered. And as she puts the scones down, she is hustling and bustling. It does seem that the commotion of the morning has kind of thrown her off schedule. But does anyone want to try one of the scones?
I will try one of the scones.
All right. I need you to roll something.
Oh boy. Okay.
Roll a
Oh.
noticing check as you take your first bite of this scone.
I will do that. Noticing, but are you?
And anyone else that
Sorry.
is eating one of these, go ahead and roll
I would
noticing.
also like
Yeah.
to eat one of
Cool.
these.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh,
Oh no.
Tastes
Oh,
fine to you.
no. Oh, poor Rusty. You know what? And Rusty is the last one to hop up, at the back of the troop as it
Oh.
was. So probably just a little winded. That's
yeah.
all.
Oh my goodness, poor Rusty. Rusty, you grab one, you just kind of like don't even chew it. You just kind of like, I don't know, you're hungry and exhausted from all the hustle of this morning. Tithly, you take a bite and it is the saltiest thing you have ever tasted. It is just full of salt and the dough seems fine, but the taste is completely off.
Oh. Oh, this is
Oh no,
certainly a
Tiffany.
scone.
That expression on your face, Tiffany. What's wrong?
It's. You see Thitley reach out for some water and just like wash
Is something
down the
wrong with it?
taste.
I know scones are dry, but that does not look like a scone enjoying face.
Oh, is it ocean flavored? I mean, it's certainly up someone's alley, just maybe not mine. Unless it's not supposed to be salty, right?
No,
Holly?
it's pumpkin. It's supposed to be sweet. There's a lovely icing on the top, and the icing is just completely like solidified salt.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
The
it
the
tasted fine to
symbols.
me.
I think at this point, iRock is gonna reach out and take one and take a bite.
Yeah, and just based on since you've seen that
Yeah.
Tithly's had this reaction, you're looking for it, and you're like, oh yeah, no, this is like really salty.
So
Symbols.
I quite like this. I mean, I keep a salt lick at home,
'Cause you're a
but this
dear.
is very salty.
And Holly's gonna go and grab one and take a bite and like immediately spit out. That's not right. Oh, I knew something was wrong this morning when I made that pie. It looked fine. It looked great, but I had the feeling something was off. And she like goes around and like taste tests other things, just taking little bits. And she's like, it's all wrong. Everything about it's wrong. And she goes and checks the jars of salt and sugar and like dips a pinky into
Isn't
taste.
salt.
And she's like, well, here's the problem. The salt's labeled sugar and the sugar's labeled salt. I must have mixed them up in my confusion, but I'm never that confused.
That
about
does
it.
not seem like you.
No, this is my business. I've been trying to make a good impression, and I take pride in everything I put out there. This is a disaster. And on festival day.
This is very, very interesting. Now, I think after poor Madge's debacle, I think maybe, y'all, we might have a trickster on our hands for sure.
You're
I,
right. It
yeah,
we saw the piles of sugar and salt on the pie itself. There's someone who's leaving clues about what mischief they're gonna get up to. What do you think, Rusty? Sorry, I
yeah.
think I interrupted you.
No, that's all right. I was just gonna say the same thing, and then you see like his face changes and you hear his stomach grumble. He's like, "Oh, that scone. It's
Heartburn.
not sitting well."
Oh, no.
Oh, poor Rusty. And Holly's
Here,
got, I've got just the
Rusty.
thing for it, yeah? Go ahead, Irock.
IROC is going to reach into their sort of pockets, pants, and they pull out several berries and they say, I don't just grow food. The house, well, I don't do it. The house grows medicine. These are sort of, they're called pokeberries, and they have a calming effect on the stomach. Also try these, and he'll like grab, he's like thin, they're not like pine needles, they're less of that, they're hemlock. And when he brushes them between his hooves and sort of holds it to your face, there's this wonderful, relaxing scent. Uh, did you know hemlock, when crushed and sniffed, helps release the chemicals that lower cortisol and heighten uh, the happy thing in your head? But here, eat these and just sniff this.
He'll take it. I
Amazing.
don't know how you
In the
know so much
party.
about
I love
everything.
this so much.
Mm. Well, I was taught at the B&B.
Oh, wonderful. I was going to give you a point of injury, Rusty, but I think you have been healed by the kindness of your friend.
Thank you.
So we are all good on that front. Holly is busying herself taking inventory of what's good and what's not. And as she's kind of going through all the things, she's like, well, the ones that I made this morning are all rubbish, but the ones that I made yesterday are fine. So something must have happened this morning. It
Interesting.
might have
So-
been when Daffodil got out, or it might have been the commotion with the crows. It's been a very hectic morning.
Uh,
It's not just
Sky.
a
no,
Go for it.
you go.
Yes.
You go.
it's
You
not
go.
just a trickster. It's like someone was planning all this because they made a whole pie. Unless they did it all first and then made a pie afterwards. Nonetheless, there was some planning for this or something.
Mhm. I agree.
It would seem so for
Sky,
sure. Yes.
your drawing. Is it ordered? Does it go crow, daffodil, salt shaker? Is it lined up in that way with the design, or are they just all haphazard slapdash?
Well, let's see. And Sky produces said drawing. And storyteller, what do we see? Do we see a pattern at all?
There is no discernible pattern. They are just kind of slapdashed on there. You did roll such a good noticing before on the pie. You can tell that they were placed the first four, and I say first four, the crow, the daffodil, the spices, and the sausage were all placed before that kind of caught moon, and you can tell that that one was on a little bit longer, or that had been cooked separately and burned and then placed. So
I see.
that's the only one that sticks out just because it is burned a little bit. All the decorations are wonderfully made, even though it was a last minute effort. It is obvious what they are. So this shows a level of skill, but there's no particular pattern to how they were placed, other than that moon was definitely left in the oven a little bit longer to purposefully catch.
Interesting. So, unfortunately, y'all, I mean, it's just like it lays out here. It doesn't seem to have any rhyme or reason, really, except that the moon is placed a little separate from everything else, but that's about it.
I
Well,
think
Go on. Irock?
Oh, yes, I was going to say, so that leaves at least two locations we know about. The Crescent Moon Winery, and the sage sausage. Perhaps good detective work like I would be best done if we split into pairs, and one goes and checks out the sage sausage, and one goes and checks out the winery.
A brilliant idea.
Splitting the
And
party.
Oh no.
Look,
No
looks over
combat will be
and
fine.
this is fine. And I think Sky looks over at Tithley and says, I know you must have your notebook on you, love. Let's compare notes. And so I think on the sketch, Sky will definitely notate Holly's Bright Blue Bakery in reference to the daffodil. And for the, there's a daffodil. What are some of the other symbols? Once
There's
again,
the
one more time.
Salt
daffodil.
and sugar.
Yeah, the salt and sugar.
The salt and sugar, right? So we can also write that as well.
Mhm.
Okay. And then there was
Sausage.
also the moon. And we're thinking that the moon relates to which, one more time?
Crescent
Crescent
Moon
Winery.
Finery.
Got it. Okay. So I think that's all the notes, at least, that the way that Sky will notate the sketch, at least. Well, do we think that that may be the next place that we want to visit? Or what
Well,
else do we want to try investigating first?
I really like Irok's idea. I mean, if these places are going to be, you know, targeted next, and these are all our friends. I mean, maybe we should split up so we can warn them as soon as possible, just so they're aware
Exactly.
that someone might swap their sugar and salt out, or steal their pie, or
Or
get a
burn their
bunch of,
pies.
or burn their pies. Oh my goodness.
Starve
Yes,
her.
Travesty. Oh,
Irok, maybe you and I can head to the Crescent Moon Winery, and Rusty and Sky, maybe the two of you can head to the other place.
The sage
Sage
sausage.
The sage sausage.
It's always such a funny word, isn't it? Sage sausage.
It has the double S's. It is quite.
indeed.
I love a good alliteration.
Indeed.
Well,
Well, I think that's a bright idea. What do you say, Rusty? Let's go on over to the Sage Sausage, shall we?
Let's hop to it.
Oh my god.
Yes, indeed. I will walk with you.
I get it,
Oh,
Hop,
thank
because
you.
you're as you're walking out, like a
Understandable.
few minutes later.
Oh, I
There we
get
go.
Like a few minutes,
it.
and we're going the opposite direction, and you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
And Eric just taps. And he says
Light
this little
bulb.
tip of-
Amazing. We're
Yeah,
gonna
the light bulb comes
follow
off.
the group that's going to the sage sausage first.
All right.
So, because you're splitting the party, and that's so much fun. I'm here for it.
We love you, Rosie.
I love you all too. You're my favorite.
Team Sausage, let's go.
The
Here
sage
we
Team
go.
sausage is
sausage.
right across. It's catty corner from the Bright Blue Bakery, so it's not a long walk at all. You
Alright.
see the shop ahead, and it catches your eye. It has a massive rounded door, different from all the doors on the typical shops that are rectangular and square. This is round, and it almost looks like a hobbit door, like from a hobbit hole. It is masterfully crafted, beautifully painted, and firmly fastened in place. You can tell that the proprietor, as well as being a wonderful chef, must be a good carpenter. There's a heavy aroma of hickory out front as puffs of hardwood smoke rise from the chimney in the back. Hanging in the window are all manner of sausages, along with truffles, herbs, root vegetables. There's even a pie or two in the front window. And as you enter this, you have to kind of strain to open this heavy walnut door. It is just massive. You step onto bright wooden floors with sawdust sprinkled down. You see footprints from the patrons that have entered and left, and bird-like footprints of the proprietor himself, and I'm trying to find his name, Efferson, who is
Little
been in town-
Puffwing.
Little Puffwing,
Okay.
yeah. Who has been in town for quite a long time. He is a previous winner of the pie contest 2 years ago. And he is known for his wonderful sausage, his whole business. And it is all vegetarian based. So all those root vegetables and herbs and things in the window are indicative of what's in each sausage itself. And you can see him in the back on the counter putting together some fresh links and new things for the festival day ahead. What would you like to do?
Good to see you, my friend.
And Everson turns around and sees you, and he knows of you and everyone in town, of course, and he just kind of goes, and goes back to what he was doing. He does not seem in a good mood.
Oh, oh dear. And kind of takes an aside to Rusty and says, "Ooh, I don't know. He seems a little grumpy today, but sometimes the pressure of the pie contest on a day like today, it can be a doozy."
I wonder if something got into his sausage and like ate up some of his sausage or something. Let's go talk to him.
I'm gonna see if he noticed that aside. No, you're good. That was whispered enough. So you're going to
And I
approach the
will.
counter and engage with
Mhm.
him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
after having such a grumpy response, I think Sky will quail just a bit and allow Rusty to maybe strike up a conversation, see if there's a bit of conversation that he can start with him.
Yeah, I'll just hop up. Hey, Everson, how's it going today? Everything all right?
Everything is not all right. I meant to enter the pie contest, as you know, and I did put one out there, but it's rubbish. I had this special sausage I had made, and that darn dog from across the way came in and ate up half of it, so I couldn't even put together the pie I wanted, and it's a subpar pie out there, and everything's ruined, and I don't want to bring it up with Holly because I don't want to make waves, but at the same time, it's very frustrating, and I demand compensation.
I'm so sorry. We just went. We chased good old Daffodil back to Holly. Actually, Daffodil was just running loose all through the town. I'm sorry that happened to you.
That must be how she got in. It's normally Holly's really good about keeping her on that lead. I haven't known her to wander free, but of course this would be the morning she gets out and he angrily goes back to what he's working on.
Well, actually, based on what we've been kind of going through town, trying to. There's a lot of weird stuff happening, and somebody cut Daffodil's leash this morning and just let her loose.
And he kind
And
of stops and pauses. Well, that's mighty strange. Who would do such a thing?
well, that's what we're trying to find out. Magus pie was eaten by some crows, and there's this weird big pie over at the table that has all these weird symbols on it. Anyways, we just wanted to stop by to make sure everything was all right. Are you okay?
And you can see him, you've talked him down a little bit and his shoulders relax. And he goes, I'm just disappointed. I feel like the only time anyone ever talked to me in this darn town was when I won the pie contest. And, I didn't win last year and people stopped talking to me so much. And it's been lonely. And I was hoping to really bring something good to the contest this year to get people to talk to me some more. I know I keep to myself for the most part, but I'd like people to come in and not always just for the sausage, you know?
Of
Hey,
course.
I mean,
Well,
I don't live.
oh, I'm sorry, Rusty. Go ahead.
That's all right. I mean, I don't live far off, Effers, and I can come visit you. You can come visit me whenever you like. I don't do much these days at farm. I mean, I'm always here.
I have been meaning to talk to you. I do see that you get in some mighty fine new seeds and vegetables and things quite often
That's
and
thanks
incorporating
to my
them.
good friend here.
Ah, Sky always bringing in the good stuff from abroad. How are you doing? I'm sorry for huffing at you this morning. It's been a
Oh,
lot.
it's quite all right. It's quite disconcerting, especially after all the hard work that I know you put into everything that you make. You know what? I've definitely been putting together new tours around the area, and my friend, what I'd love to do is to definitely set up a tour to come on by and visit your establishment. Of course, and it'd be an eating tour and folks could sample your latest dishes. How would that sound?
And again, he the feathers have like ruffled and then gone back down. He's like, well, that does seem like it would bring more people in. That would be very fine of you. Thank you, Sky.
Of course, of course.
And
I'll get
yeah,
right on it.
I have been looking for an apprentice, so if more people come in, that's more people that can apply for the job.
Oh, that's wonderful. I know for a fact that our good friend Irok has had very good results with some of the local children coming by to help as well. It's always so good to see youngins just working hard and doing what they can to make the place brighter. So certainly, I'll even speak to her to see what she thinks about that. Maybe we can get you some young help.
Yeah, I know Tabby and Winston have taken quite a liking to Irok. He takes care of them and gives them some good experience and runs them a bit ragged, but maybe if one of them would be interested in helping out here every once in a while, especially now that one of my smokers is down and we have so much to do, especially on festival days like today and trying to make a name for ourselves, and he's kind of like just going on and on now about his woes.
I will stop him a moment to say, "Oh, but wait one moment. You mentioned one of your smokers is down. Is that true?"
And
Oh
if a
no.
bird could blush, you see sort of like not the shame, but he looks over at a smoker and you notice that one of the legs is kicked out from under it. And he says, well, this happened a little bit ago, just a few days ago. I was fiddling with the recipe for my pie, and in a fit of frustration, I kicked out the leg from one of the smokers. And I can't fix it by myself. The darn thing's too heavy to pick up just by my one son. But if you all have a moment and could help me right the thing, that would be very much appreciated.
What do you say, Rusty? Shall we go ahead and do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything for you, Everson.
Oh, y'all are so nice.
Let's. Mm-hmm.
So I am.
So,
Both of you roll a bustle check, and so will Efferson.
all right. Bustle. Let's see how we do.
Wow.
He hulked out. So did Rusty.
Ooh, snap, and it's a good thing, cause well, you got higher than Sky for sure.
It's a
Good.
group roll. It's a group success. It's fine. So, Efferson and Rusty are going to hoist up this heavy, heavy iron smoker. And Sky, you're just going to deftly knock that leg back in there. They're going to drop it down. It's going to settle in place. Yes. Go 1, 2, 3. Hut. Drop it. And it is fixed. It is effectively good as to go. And he's, wow, thank you. That really has been bothering me. And I didn't want to tell anyone because I was embarrassed that I let the anger get the best of me. And thank you for listening. It's been rough.
it's quite
you
alright.
didn't even need my help on that. I barely lifted it.
And he just kind of like flexes a little bit. He's like, these old bones aren't what they used to be, but every once in a while they get the job done.
Well, hey, if you ever need I can set aside a small plot of land, and if you ever need anything planted or anything like that, I wouldn't mind having something just for you, and you can come help me tend it if you're ever feeling lonely or anything.
That sounds like such an amazing idea. Farm to table. Normally I import all of my ingredients, but to be able to grow them myself, there'd be some great pride in that.
Absolutely.
That's right. And every new place that I find, I make sure to bring back some good seeds for Rusty. So you know what? I'm more than happy to do the same for you.
Amazing. And he, because he lives quite close to you, Rusty, he's like, I've seen those purple potatoes you got. I think we could make a wonderful beet and purple potato sausage. They would come out purple. They would be the most wonderful thing. I wouldn't know how to spice them because I don't know what those potatoes taste like, but I'm sure it could be good. And he starts like scribbling down notes.
Well, if you come down later, I made a pie. It's called ube. I made a pie with them. They're quite good.
Ube. Ube. And he's kind of like doing a little like bird head cock thing as he says it. Ube. Like, what an interesting name. Definitely gonna have to try ube and beet. Beet. Ha ha! And he's starting to like laugh to himself as he's writing down notes. And we could flavor it with basil. Just all the bees.
Oh
And he's
no.
just going off in his own little direction. He seems in much
my
better
goodness.
spirits. You've definitely earned a friend today. He's like, it is a shame about the pie. I don't think the one that I put forward is going to be any good. I know that you all put together some. Your friend Tithley and Irok put together one, and I cannot wait to see this purple potato pie. That just sounds amazing. So best of luck at the contest, and I hope to see you all at tonight's hearthwarming.
Will
And
do.
I will definitely make sure to get back with you in the next couple of days. I do have a few tours scheduled, so I'm going to be very busy over the next couple of days. But I am going to circle back around to you so that we can make sure to get a tour sent straight your way.
I am counting on it. And he said, oh, just one moment. And he kind of fusses in the back, and I'm trying to find the name of this thing. He's like, I put in an order with the floor drop airmail for a new one, but here are these bellows for my smoker. They are a little bit enchanted, but since I got a new one coming, I figure that you all could have it and do with it what you like. It'll help keep your hearths warm in the winter and get a little extra mileage out of your firewood.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I think you could use this really well, right, Rusty?
Absolutely. This is so much. Thank you, Efferzin.
Thank you. You have done a great service to me today. I really just needed someone to talk to, I think. I should go and check out the wellness services. They help with the lonely sometimes, and I've been very lonely, you know. It's difficult when you're kind of on the outskirts of town and being as gruff as I can be sometimes, and I let my temper get the best of me sometimes. I know that I'm not the most appealing to be around, and he's kind of rambling again.
And as he's rambling, I think that's when Sky would kind of lean over to Rusty and say, "I think he's good to go for now. Let's go ahead and make our delicate exit, shall we?"
And
All
he's
right, I'll
yeah.
tip my hat to him.
And he's still rambling as you're leaving, as he's like coming up with new ideas for new sausages and all these wonderful things. And as you exit the Sage Sausage, you hear quite the commotion coming from the Crescent Moon Winery. A couple of shouts, some of them sound like they're in pain. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh my god, what?
Oh no!
I'm sorry.
I can't believe you've done this. I can't believe you've done this.
Rosie!
We're just about
This
at
is
time.
God.
I'm gonna go hide
Rosie.
from the players. They're gonna revolt.
I can't believe you've done this.
We're not leaving this call.
I was like,
Tell us
this
what's
wonderful.
happening.
This wonderful sweet story, and then it's like, and devastating cliffhanger.
Devastating cliffhanger.
Oh
Like,
my
again,
god!
Total shift.
There's no combat in this. You don't have to
Amazing.
worry too much, but there is a commotion happening, and we will find out about that next week on Autumn in Oakbend.
Oh,
Yes.
peaceful music.
Peaceful music.
We jump back in
Yes.
to chaos.
Chaos. Everything's in pandemonium. But yes.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
I was trying to find a
That's
good
awesome.
cliffhanger, and I think that suffices. So, and you all split the party, so it's your own fault.
Well,
Oh no.
of course. Now,
I'm blaming
what-
Kay.
now I wonder, do we have a tally? Do we have a tally on how much was donated this evening?
We have raised $115, which is so
Whoa.
nice.
Yay.
Very
Thank
exciting.
you so much for donating.
Yes, thank you. That was Big Dad Industries who donated 100 at the beginning. We will
Thank
continue
you,
to
Ben.
fundraise throughout the campaign, and I'll continue to post about it on Twitter. Starlight is one of those amazing charities that I really love. Whenever I get to work with them, they are so nice. They are so personal. Like, every time that I stream, I get one of them that comes in, even just to pop in and say hi, but they are so supportive of the people they partner with, and I love them. I love what they do. They provide toys, gowns, games, red flyer wagons to get kids to and from
Wow.
appointments, so it's not as scary as a gurney or a hospital bed. Just these little things that make hospital stays that much easier and kinder for children. And I love what they do, and I love supporting them. But yeah, that's where we're going to end today. And this has been so much fun. We'll pick up next week on that terrible cliffhanger. We're going to close it out for tonight. We will see you all next week. Thank you so much for hanging out, engaging with the chat and the cast and all of this good stuff. See you next week. Bye-bye.